watching the trailer for the second one in the cinema, I looked at it and I was like, oh my god, that is going to be actually atrocious. Wasn't that bad.
I'll make you a deal. You can kill Gemma, but don't touch Katie.
M3gan.
Okay, so I expected total and undeniable garbage after seeing the trailer for this. Even after rewatching the first one and going, yeah, you know what, it is actually quite fun, I still didn't expect anything from this. Thought it was going to be absolute crap. Thought that we were, oh, you know what, yeah, we haven't had a Madam Web this year. Thought it would be that level of blockbuster, okay? It's not. It's not. It is a bizarre, weird film that I don't really want to watch again, but it's not that bad. M3gan 2.0 is close enough, so welcome back, Terminator 2. M3gan secretly survived the first film and has been watching Gemma and Katie, and she's ready to leap into action and face off against Amelia, who is just another killer robot that she's got to fight. This feels like the superhero origin story that the first one was meant to be, but it wasted time by trying to be a horror film, and now they've just completely dumped that off a cliff and gone, what about an action sci-fi comedy that rips off simultaneously Mission Impossible, Terminator 2, and a little bit of Iron Man all at once? This is a film I struggled with. I don't like Gemma. In the first film, she was like an absentee mother to this child, building a robot so that she could do that, and just being that reckless, you know, tech inventor that you see in every other robot movie who is not the lead. They're an asshole and are swiftly dispatched or whatever. And she was the main character, basically. And now we're back in this one, and she has instead become super self-righteous, virtue-signaling lecture circuiter. Like, ew. And she's still like a terrible friend, not a great mother, and super against M3gan even when she starts trying to help them. So I just hate her as a character, and Alison Williams seemed pretty checked out in this one, not interested in being there, which didn't help. So overall, that was a bit of a mess, because she is still basically the lead, much more so than M3gan is, or Katie is. Katie is fine in this one. M3gan is just as insane, but she's able to be more open with it this time, because she's not trying to seem normal to them. So she really brings out a lot of lines. You don't often get to hear hold on to your vaginas in an actual Hollywood film, but there it is. I feel like the best way to describe this is that taking the first one and them obviously just going, oh shoot, we need to make this into a franchise now because it went viral a little bit because of her silly dance. I feel like at that point they came up with a storyboard that involved like all these different directions they could go, and then they just went in all of them a little bit. And it is just a cacophonous mess as a result. I mean, there is literally a killer robot trying to become like robot Jesus by absorbing a piece of a printer from like the 1980s. What the fuck? Like, it's just the actual plot of the film is so terrible. It's exactly as bad as I thought it would be. But this does get away with it somewhat because it is very funny, because M3gan is just a funny character and just works, and because it does actually have some pretty good like action and fight scenes and moments. It also has some super annoying characters, not just Gemma. There are another like 4 or 5 characters I really hate. And apart from her, they're all, you guessed it, man, yes. They double down on making sure that you know that every male character is either incompetent or a complete asshole, yeah. However, they do that to so obvious a degree that you can kind of see some of the twists coming, because you're like, well, he's not going to be good, is he? Yeah, I do feel like M3gan and Amelia are serving the 2 distinct types of cunt that you could serve. Basically, I boil it down to mega sass or mega asshole. Amelia's just mommy, but evil, like, actually, like, who? Whereas M3gan is just that bitch, you know? And it's fine, it's fun. It, you know, just being like, oh no, there's a second killer robot and they have to fight. Like, it's just a bit like, okay. Everything you've seen here has been done better before, and the writers know it. It does have some genuine moments of kind of like golden comedy. I mean, when the FBI breaks into their house, that whole scene, that is golden. There's not enough scenes like that to overcome how much this is just meandering, Hollywoodified, random stab a sequel in their nonsense, you know? I feel like it is ripping off a few different things. Terminator, of course, in some ways. Terminator 2, it's just, yeah. But also, like, Mission Impossible. I mean, they basically just stole the villain of the last two Mission Impossible films and said it's a printer piece, which is insane. But also Megan doing like the whole wingsuit sequence, that was straight up Mission Impossible, yeah. And it was fine, you know, it's not terrible. I feel like if it's like if they... It's a sort of nonsensical film that is like if you made a Jason Statham film, but for a vastly different demographic. Basically, all opposite demographic to the norm, yeah. It's fine, but I don't really want to ever see it again. It's not a severe drop-off for a sequel, but I don't think either of the Megan films so far I really need to see again. So I'm giving Sonic the Hedgehog franchise for gays 2.5 stars. Like, what could the plan possibly be from here? Not to spoil this film too much, but they already do the kind of she's saving the world thing, so is it just going to be that every time? I mean, that is the Mission Impossible franchise. And Sonic the Hedgehog franchise. Yeah.